Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Please Listen podcast. My voice might sound a little fucked in this episode because recently I've been fighting off a deadly disease called the common cold. I've been fighting it recently. I've been doing it actually pretty well. I've been, if we were keeping track, I think I'm kicking this sickness's ass right now. I've been taking all sorts of medication. I've been coming at it at every possible angle. My throat feels a little dry. I take a cough drop. I feel like my nose is dry. I nasal spray. I take Dayquil. I take NyQuil. I take Mucinex. I take zinc sometimes. I'm going after it. All right, I'm fighting the sickness. Because usually when I get sick, it's like I get hit hard with the sickness. Like I'm down and out for at least like 2 days. I'm usually like I feel too weak to do anything. But I haven't really felt that. I've just felt like my throat is a little sore, and I'm sometimes congested. No like lightheadedness, no weakness in the knees, and the arms and the legs. I'm able to be productive and do stuff, which is great. I don't know why I always lose my voice. Like I always lose my voice whenever I get hit with the cold or the fevers. It's fucked up. Recently, earlier this year, in January, I think, we saw the death of a beloved icon, icon. In America, and that is the mobile game Simpsons Tapped Out. That game has been going on for about 12 years, I think, and just recently, EA announced that they're shutting down the game. All the servers, they took it off the App Store. It's off the App Store. And I remember when I initially saw the news of that, I was like, oh my god. Like my heart dropped. Like if I actually saw like an actual like real life person's death, I was like, oh my god. Because I played Simpsons Tapped Out for a good chunk of time when I was a kid, and it was kind of like a staple in my life. If you don't know, Simpsons Tapped Out it was a mobile game based on The Simpsons, popular animated television show. It's like one of those games where you like, what's the comparison? I mean, there's a ton of mobile games like that. I guess Clash of Clans. It's like a Clash of Clans, but it's The Simpsons, and you rebuild Springfield after Homer Simpson blows it up, because he fell asleep at the job at the nuclear power plant. You would think that would happen sooner, But yeah, you just rebuild Springfield. You build stuff, and you build your city. You can have all sorts of fun. Classic, iconic Simpsons structures like Moe's Tavern, the Simpson House, of course, Krusty Land, and you can collect characters, and they walk around your little town, like Homer, Marge, Lisa, Bart, Maggie, Mo, Apu. We don't talk about Apu. He's canceled. We don't talk about Apu. Graggle, Barney. I could go on. All sorts of characters. And I thought it was I honestly thought it was a great game. I played it for a long time. I had a pretty sick fucking Springfield. The thing with games like that, it's like, and this even crosses over into like Animal Crossing, which I played also for like the New Horizons. I played that one a couple years ago. I was on that thing 24/7. Games where you have full creative control to just make whatever you want. You make your city, your island, make it look like whatever you want it to. I can never I like playing games like that, but I also hate it because I always like I can never be settled. You know, I'm never happy with my own ideas. Like I could be happy with the way my place looks one time, then I look at somebody else's. I'm like, God fucking damn it! They have theirs is way better than mine. I need to redo mine from scratch, and I need to copy exactly what they're doing so I can have an amazing island like them. So I have that when I'm playing Animal Crossing, which is why I can't even play that game anymore. Because every time I try and play that game, I'm like, okay, I'm restarting from scratch. I think the Simpsons Tapped Out was like that to a certain extent for me. I was never happy with my layout, but I think I got pretty far in the game. I did it all. Uh, I didn't spend any money on it. You can spend money to like hurry up, because it takes real time. Like in Clash of Clans, you send a guy to do an objective or you build something. It takes real time. It can take up to like a day, but you can use real money to speed those things up. I never did that. I never ever. Because I was like what, like 9. I never did that, and yeah, I got pretty far just through sheer will and sheer patience and time put into it. I think I got the dock. When I got the dock, I was like, holy shit! I got the fucking Springfield dock. I don't remember what it's called, and I wish I could show you guys my Springfield. But I don't think I have. I don't have the app anymore. I think I deleted it like back when I was a kid. It wasn't like something like years later I find it. I think I was just. I don't know if I was over the game or maybe I like got logged out of my account or something and I couldn't remember. There was like they did one last update where it was like they gave you like a way to get just infinite amount of donuts, which is the stuff that you spend real life money on. So you could just like get, and they put like everything from the past like in the item shop or whatever the fuck it was called. So you could just, your wildest dreams, you could just get whatever you wanted and just fully complete your island. It was, I really, I wish I would have been there. I should have been there. It would have been nice. Yeah, but that game was it was just like a fixture in my life, and now it's gone. I don't know why. I don't know why they would do that. Just keep it going forever. I guess maybe like disable the servers or something so you can't visit. I mean, it would be a loss, but like that or losing the whole game, it's kind of, it's fucked up. And so, in memoriam for this game, I wanted to do a little something just to commemorate it. Just to. I'll leave this here. Where should I stand over here? We're gathered here today to mourn the loss of a well-respected member of our community. The Simpsons Tapped Out, the mobile game. It grew up. It was born on the Google. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. It was born on the App Store way back when, 12 years ago. We had many great times with that. Was anyone like to say a few words? Kermit? Oh my, wait. This is his burial. Shit. Would anyone like to say a few words? Kermit? Baby Yaga? Okay, don't worry. I'll say a few words. I'll say a few words. Homer, I'm sorry. When I was a young lad making YouTube videos, you got me through some of the hardest times of my life. And now that you're gone, I don't know if I'll be able to live without you, man. I'm sorry. Let's just bury him. Rest in peace, Homer. But yeah, I just wanted to commemorate the game that brought me so much joy in the past. I totally forgot I had this Homer Simpson. He could stay right here. This is, I mean, technically it's his corpse now. If we're following the story that I perfectly started. Okay. Anyways, let's move on from this, because I fear that the stuff we're about to talk about is gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. First, I wanted to real quickly cover the newest episode of Daredevil Born Again. I guess I'm just gonna do weekly recaps, because I mean, last episode I don't think I had much to say about it besides I really enjoyed it. But I think this one, it has a few things that I kind of want to dig into. Spoilers for Daredevil Born Again, episodes 1 through 4. I think we're on episode 4. This one's called Sic Semper Cervisa or something like that. Some fucky like Latin phrase. And this one has the reintroduction of Frank fucking Castle, dude. My man. If you listen to some of the other ones, you know how much I love Frank Castle as a character. I make imagines of him all the time. POVs of you eating food with him on a rooftop or something like that. I love the character. I think I've said this before. I could write like a 27-page college thesis about the tragedy of a character like Frank Castle. This John Bernthal version. I know fans of the comics are like, they say that he's not comic accurate, you know, in certain ways. The way that he's like, he gives up being the Punisher multiple times throughout his tenure in his show, which Frank would never do, because he loves to it's a never-ending war. Frank, that's like his thing. It's like it'll never be enough for him until I guess all of crime is eradicated, you know. And which I understand that, but I guess, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of like, I mean, it's a different thing, but by the end of season 2 of his show, he approaches it. I think part of his development in the Punisher series was him like coming to terms with the fact that the war is never ending for him, because it's kind of, there's a great scene in season 2 when he's in the hospital. Spoilers for the Punisher series. There's a great scene in season 2 when he's in the hospital after Billy like he frames Frank. He makes him think that he killed innocent people, which of course Frank he has a big problem with killing innocents. And Karen Page is in that episode. Great to see her in that. But after they find out that Frank actually didn't kill the innocent people, there's kind of this part where Frank, he's like I gotta kill them all, blah 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 blah, something, and then I don't remember what happens leading up to it, but Karen's like you have to stop this, right? Like after you kill Billy, because Billy's responsible partly responsible for the death of his family in the show, the show version. And there's this moment where like Frank like admits to Karen, he's like, I mean, I guess technically I could stop. Technically, my family is avenged after I've killed Billy and everybody else involved. But what if I don't want to stop? Like that's kind of like, I feel like that was like always within the character, but he kind of just like pushed it aside. He initially thought that this was about his family, but like after a while of doing this, he's like, no, this is just who I am now. So I feel like he's still kind of the, I feel like he is that was kind of his thing. Like I still feel like, I don't know, just because it takes him a second to get there, I feel like that he was always like that, but he was just like lying to himself. I don't know. But anyways, that's unrelated. I still think that John Bernthal's Punisher is amazing and fucking like one of my favorite superheroes. If we're talking live action, and yeah, he makes his triumphant return in this episode 4. I thought this episode was honestly. I found this episode was kind of funny, which I wasn't expecting. It had a lot of good bits in it. I like the Leroy, the guy that Matt is defending. He brings up scrolls. I thought that was nice. That was a funny joke. He was like, "Could it have been a scroll?" And Matt's just like, "No, I don't know. They definitely could have." Like that would be something that you would say in the Marvel universe. I didn't do that shit. That was a scroll. That was a shape shifting alien. I would do that if shape shifting aliens existed in our world and I got caught committing a crime. And then the bit with the children's choir singing to Mayor Fisk, and he hates it, but he has to pretend to like it just so he has a good public facing image. And then the Latvian Heritage Day choir sing that same song to him. I thought it was very funny. There's a scene at the beginning right after Hector Ayala gets shot in the head and killed in the last episode. There's a scene. This episode starts at the morgue with Hector's niece, I think. Her name is like Abigail or some shit like that. And I thought, I don't know, for a child actor, not even for a child actor, I thought she was a really great performer. Like, it wasn't like shitty child acting. Like, it really felt like painful. Like, it was like realistic, like ugly, like painful crying. What she was doing, I thought it was really good. It perfectly like exemplified like what happens when like, because Hector dying and like all this shit happening, like it's meant to like be pushing Matt towards being Daredevil again, because like the system's broken, the police are all corrupt, and like I've like showing like the deadly serious like grim reaction to Hector's death with like a small innocent child is like, I think like that's like the perfect like motivator for Matt to go back again. And I think the centerpiece of this episode was the Punisher Daredevil, the Matt and Frank reunion argument about, it's so amazing. Like it harkens back to their scene on the rooftop in season 2 of the original show, and it's just like amazing. It's like I couldn't even predict that I would see an argument between these two again after that original series got canceled. And I feel like it's a lot to get into. Like Matt goes, he finds Punisher because he sees that the bullet casing of the bullet that killed Hector had the Punisher's logo on it, which of course it wasn't Frank that did it, but it was the cops that have kind of I don't know what the word is. They took his logo and they've just been using it for their own dastardly plans. But he goes to Frank and he talks to him, and Frank kind of like he calls him out. He's like, I can't do his voice, but he's like, "Yeah, you come to me because you came to me looking for permission," or something like that. And I don't know, it's interesting to get into because like obviously if you're going, like obviously Matt knew like going to Frank Castle, he's gonna be like, yeah, just fucking break the law. Who gives it? Like fuck them. Like don't work within the system. What the hell? Like what do you? Like you're asking me about this? I'm the fucking Punisher. Like that's like the opposite of my thing. They're trusting the system. Like who the fuck are you kidding? Right? And it's like, I don't know. It's like, Matt. They're kind of like the polar opposite. Like Frank became a vigilante out of tragedy, out of losing like someone he loved, his whole family. Whereas Matt, like, he stopped being a vigilante from tragedy, from losing someone he loves, in the form of Foggy. Spoilers. So it's like a very like it's like, I guess Frank says that he can hear, like, every time he closes his eyes, he imagines that the spirit of his son is like telling him to keep doing it, like keep fighting. So in Frank's mind, he's doing it for them, right? Whereas, I guess it would make sense that Matt would stop because Foggy never liked Matt being Daredevil, right? Like he would always tell him to stop. So I think Matt stopping after Foggy's death is kind of honoring his whole thing, right? And it's like, I mean, I understand why Matt doesn't want to do it, right? Because like the two main people in his life who he lost, besides like Elektra and Stick, I guess, is his dad and Foggy. And it's like, and neither of them wanted him to be a fighter, like to use his fist, like that's, so like it's kind of like the two people, those two main people who he wants to honor their memory. He's like kind of letting down in a way every time he becomes Daredevil. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's complicated, which makes it interesting for me. And yeah, just having them having like a yelling match, and you know, Matt defending, Matt defending, you know, not like finishing the job on Bullseye, although he did kind of have a disregard of whether he lived or died when he threw him off that rooftop. Just it shows like, you know, Matt's not really about protecting the criminals or the murderers or someone like Bullseye. He values life, and that's kind of his thing. And Frank is like, you know, you being so fucking against killing is why your friend Foggy there died. You know, and it's back to the original fucking should superheroes kill argument that they have in season 2. And you know, of course, Frank isn't 100% right. It's kind of like the two extremes. You got Foggy. It's like, don't be a vigilante. Just do it within the system. And then Frank is like, fuck the system. Kill everybody. Do it. You're judge, jury, and executioner, as you would say in the video game Marvel Rivals, the hit video game. Maybe you've heard of it. So Matt, I mean, it's all about, with Matthew, it's all about finding balance, I think, for doing both of those things. And that ending, how the episode ends, it ends with Matt going up to his rooftop. He's got his billy clubs and he's fucking flipping around. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's still got it. After 1 year, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then we have Fisk, who like goes into like his basement or whatever the fuck that little chamber is, and he has his the man that his wife Vanessa had an affair with. He's got him locked up in a cell and just eating dinner while he just sits there in a cell. And it kind of like those moments are those two scenes are intercut from one from another, and it's kind of just like a way to show like neither of these guys have changed in the way that they said in that diner scene. That whole diner scene was them just like lying to both themselves and each other, right? And then to flash forward to now, this scene where they're like they're their true selves still, and all that was just a ploy. No matter how much they try and run from it, and I think it's like a kind of a genius parallel. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the show. I think it's complex, it's layered, and it's really well done. And I heard some behind the scenes about the original version of this episode. And I mean, I guess last episode I was like, I guess they didn't change that much, really. But I guess maybe that was just for episode 3, and I guess 2 to some extent, because apparently this episode was originally gonna be all one shot, like it was gonna be filmed to like, probably it wasn't actually gonna be a one shot, but it was gonna be like made to like have like seamless one shot thing, which is like very interesting. And I like, that's gotta be fucking annoying to have to, like, if you're redoing the show and you're like, oh, but we shot an entire episode all in one scene. How do we cut out of that? Like, what do we? God, shit, God, dude, you should have mentioned that earlier before you spent all this money doing the one take. Fuck, oh, dude. And I think Punisher wasn't gonna be in the original show originally. I think I heard that because John Bernthal, who plays the Punisher, he was like, I originally wasn't signed. He sounds like kind of like a dude. He's like a dude. I didn't originally sign up for that, dude, because I didn't really like the direction they were taking with the Punisher. But after this rework, I was totally on board. So apparently, he wasn't going to be in the original series, which I mean, it's kind of crazy to me, because I thought like the police with the Punisher logo, I thought that was like an integral part of the show, and just to imagine that they would have done that without Frank even being there to be like, what's going on? What the hell? That's my you stole my shit, dude. That's my logo. That's literally my skull and the X-ray. He calls them fanboys in the episode, which I really like. I think that was really funny. Really funny. I also liked how Frank didn't like, because when I saw the trailer and he had like the beard and like the long hair, I kind of was like, oh, let me guess, he quit being the Punisher again, like he did at the beginning of both seasons of his show. But no, it looks like he's still being the Punisher, but he spends like super long times just like probably like mapping out his next targets, like every move and like how to like perfectly plan to like execute them. So it seems like he's just been working so long on like how to kill this one like mob boss or whatever, like this drug lord or something. And he's just been doing that for like a month, and all of his shit grew out because he doesn't care. I thought that was nice. But I'm super excited to see the Punisher again, and also they've been teasing that a Karen and Frank Castle reunion. I really love their relationship. I love everything about John Bernthal's Punisher. It's just like so. Everything about that just works for me. But another aspect of why like Vanessa's like super like sort of like out of love with Fisk at this moment is because, and I've seen people like talk about this. I think it's because of Fisk wanting to go legitimate. Like I think Vanessa was into Fisk being like a criminal mob boss guy. Like that was like part of the reason why she loved him. And now Fisk like wants to do this like serious like legal. Well, I guess he did blackmail a guy. Last episode or 2 episodes ago. So I guess not completely legitimate, but like to the public, totally legal, perfectly fine. You know, that was like kind of like what like now Vanessa's like, what the fuck, dude? Like I can't even like make all this money doing all this stuff, you know. And it makes sense why Wilson Fisk would want to go legitimate. Because I was thinking like, I mean, if his wife doesn't like it, why would he want to do that? You know, and I was like, well, obviously it's because this is like his new scheme to get vigilantes done, like to fucking wipe them off the map, you know. Because the last time he did through illegal means and it didn't work, it got him arrested. Now he's like, I'm going to change the law so that I win and all the vigilantes go to jail. So it's like a way to like beat Daredevil, the Punisher, Spider-Man, and like they can't do anything about it because it's just the law, right? And it seems like that's the direction they're going with, like anti-vigilante stuff, like the Born Again comic, or not the Born Again, the Devil's Reign comic, which I read that comic. I really love that comic, and it looks like they're kind of like doing like a loose adaptation of that with Mayor Fisk and then like anti-vigilante, like outlawing vigilantes. And it's been theorized that Matt is going to put together a team of some street level heroes. Everybody's theorizing what that could be, and I like to throw my hat in the ring for what I think should happen and what I also think is realistic. Obviously, I would love to see all the Defenders again from the live action Defenders: Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Fuck Danny Rand. Get Danny. You can get Danny. Get Colleen. Bring in Colleen, Misty Knight. Give them like some nice like comic outfits, which I guess most of them dressed up pretty comic accurate in their shows because they all wear like normal clothes. You can bring Danny out. You can have Danny in this, or bring like a different Iron Fist. I don't know. I don't think Spider-Man is realistic. Although I would love to see him, but I don't think they're not allowed to put him in a Daredevil show, live action show. Moon Knight would be. I would really like to see Moon Knight. I'm thinking of like, because I mean, in the Devil's Reign comic, they got fucking everyone. They got Fantastic Four, fucking Iron Man, Captain America. You can't do that. That for obvious reasons. They're kind of on different playing fields. But I think Moon Knight would fit in. I saw a screenshot of from a comic. It was like a team of like Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Moon Knight, and Spider-Man, and then John Walker was there. Although in the Devil's Reign comic, he's a part of the Thunderbolts, I think. Not the Thunder. Yeah, the Thunder. I don't know. He's a part of the anti-vigilante, so I don't think he would be teaming up with the vigilantes. I don't know. See how he ends up after Thunderbolts movie. He could join the team. John Walker. You could have some of the guys from there, but they might also be on like a different plane. I mean, you could have one of the Hawkeyes, Miss Marvel maybe. I don't think she would fit in. I think like Matt would be like fucking breaking bones, and Miss Marvel would be like, "This is not poggers," because that's how she speaks. She's like a Gen Z. She's like, "This is not fresh. This does not get 5. This gets one big boom from me. I don't like this. One big boom is bad, right?" I think that's how it. I'm not well versed in the Costco guys encyclopedia, the thesaurus, but I think one big boom is bad. Let me see. Let me think about what other characters. I would say the Punisher, but I don't think any superhero fucks with the Punisher. Like, I don't think they would want to be on a team with him. Like, they'll tolerate him for a bit, but like, you know, they would not want them. They would not want to be like, oh yeah, he's with us. Yeah, the guy that just fucking shot that guy point blank in the head in front of his family. Frank's with us. You know, I don't think John Bernthal's Punisher would do that in front of his family. I was just joking. That was just a joke. But yeah, I think they have a lot of characters to choose from. You could bring in fucking Cloak and Dagger from that one show. You know, you can bring them in. All you like, I mean, how do we feel about that show, guys? How do we feel about Cloak and Dagger? I tried to watch season 1, did not really like it. I haven't looked back. I haven't gone to season 2 at all. Anyways, I'm wasting time here. This is okay. It's time to talk about another superhero show, and this one has finished. The new season has finished, and I've got a lot to say about this one. I finished watching season 3 of Invincible. Season 3 of... I gotta tell you, I really love Invincible. I don't even know why. I don't really remember why I started watching it. I've kept up with it. Like, I watched season 1 as it was coming out, season 2 as it was coming out, season 3. Like, I don't even remember why I started watching it. Like, I don't know. I haven't read the comic. I don't know anything about the comics. I think I just saw the trailer and I was like, I mean, it's a superhero and it seems cool. I guess I'll watch it. And it's like, I love superheroes, but I don't watch everything superhero related. So I guess I just really wanted to see Invincible. I'm so glad that I watched the show, because I gotta say, I really love Invincible as a character. I think if you were to like have like I feel like he deserves to be in like the big 3 of like the comic publishers characters, because it would be like Spider-Man for Marvel, Batman for DC, and then Invincible. I feel like he deserves to be like the top 3. Like, when you think of like comics like them, that may seem crazy to some people. I mean, I guess who else would be of like non-Marvel and DC superheroes to be in the top 3? Spawn, maybe Spawn. I guess. I mean, there hasn't really been anything Spawn related recently at all. You know, Hellboy, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know. Are they? They're ninjas. They're not really superheroes. But yeah. Anyways, I really love Invincible. I love the concept of Invincible. I feel like this might be like fucking like the ramblings of a madman, but like the name Invincible has like a thematic meaning, because it's like he's not the strongest, you know, at least not at this point. I think he probably becomes the strongest person ever, but especially like in like season 1, he's not the strongest. And then that last episode against Omni-Man, he takes a beating. You know, he doesn't pack that many big punches, but he takes a fucking beating until, you know, he's able to change Nolan's mind and get him to fly away. I feel like the name Invincible is like, he's not the strongest, but he'll definitely take a beating because he's got willpower, right? He'll take a beating, and he'll hopefully, you know, get whoever's fighting him to, you know, have a change of heart, make a mistake, you know, stuff like that. He's just kind of like the punching bag, you know, that protects other people from getting hurt. Although a lot of people do get hurt during those big fights, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyways, yeah, but like the Invincible's character is just like he's just like the epitome of the indomitable human spirit, you know. And I really love it. Although, you know, he is very, very, very few and far between when Invincible gets to really show off his strength. Every time he goes beast mode, it's like, oh my god, it's like literally like the best, like most dopamine adrenaline rush like I've ever seen. Like at the beginning of this season when he's fighting those Reanimen and he's just fucking them up, he's just slicing them up. Like that's so satisfying to me to just see Mark like finally like having the upper hand on someone and like just beating them to a pulp. You know, like the show all the time gives me like goosebumps, like the superhero chills whenever like the Invincible, like the trumpet, like hero noise, song music kicks in and Mark like does a big punch, you know. I just love it. I love it so much. I think having him get beat up all the time, I think that helps amplify the feeling of when Mark finally has the upper hand. I mostly wanted to talk about the last 4 episodes, the second half of the season. I think the first half I think is really good. I really like the Cecil and Mark rivalry. I thought that was a great way to kind of shake things up this season. I also I don't know, I think they're both very formidable, you know, and kind of seeing just like this guy like Cecil, just like Cecil who's like prepared for everything, like going against Mark who's just kind of like, he's kind of like a not a wild card, but he's kind of just like, he's still a kid, you know, and he's kind of like, he does his own thing, you know, and he's a kid. I mean, he's like 19 or something, but he's also like one of the most powerful beings on Earth. And you know, yeah, it's interesting. I wanted to start by talking about the dragon episode because I honestly I didn't really like that episode. I honestly thought it was the weakest of the season, and everybody's always, and like there's like arguments of like it was filler. It's like, no, it's not filler because it does this. It develops this relationship and this character and this, and it's like you can still do that while also progressing the main plot. I thought the main plot was just gonna be Cecil versus like Mark the whole time. But I guess there really isn't an overall like storyline to this season. It's kind of like the through line is more just like character development than like an overall plot, because like there's kind of like 2 like climaxes to this season. I like both 7 and 8 are like their own like the story just kind of like builds up and then it climaxes and then climaxes again immediately after. It's kind of, I guess it's sort of episodic in a way. But I did not like the dragon episode because it's like I'll say it is filler because I don't think it had like I even if it wasn't filler, I just didn't find it very interesting. Like him fighting the I don't really like it when Mark fights like just like beasts, like monsters. I kind of felt this way during the Doc Seismic fight where they're like under the earth, when they're fighting just like these just like mythical gigantic beast, and they're just like it's just like them. Mark is like the size of like a fly and it's just like swatting him, like hitting him over and over again. I don't really get like a sense of like, I don't have like a frame of reference of like what is like, is this doing anything? What is there any progression being made? It's like when Mark fights like a humanoid character like Anissa or like other Invincibles, like at least you know like, okay, they have bones that can break, they have blood, that they can have open wounds, like stuff like that. But like they're just, when they fight like a giant monster like the dragon guy, they're just hitting them and like nothing really happens. It's like things really only end until like you really only know that like a thing is dead if they get like one final blow, and it's like, so like there's really no like wearing it down at all that like that's happening, you know, if that makes sense. But yeah, I also felt that way about the Doc Seismic stuff, and I don't really talk. this applies to Doc Seismic and also the Dragon episode. I don't like how they bring back the Dragon guy. The Dragon guy dies. He gets shot in the head, but in the post-credit scene, they bring him back immediately after. And this is kind of a big problem with the show. Like, I understand that there are reoccurring villains in comics. That's like a big thing. But it's like, I mean, at least if you're gonna bring them back, at least wait until not the end of that same episode where they die. But I don't really find reoccurring villains that interesting. I mean, especially in like, because Invincible isn't like an ongoing thing. It's one story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, as opposed to like Spider-Man, which goes on forever, you know. So when you have reoccurring villains in that, it's kind of, and a lot of the time they're doing like the same thing. Like I got so sick of the Mauler twins at a certain point because they're just big guys that punch really hard and they clone themselves over and over again. They just keep coming back. Like, I got sick of them to a point, and I was really happy when Oliver fucking killed them both for good. I thought that was like, one, it showed like how, like, it made like what Oliver did like have an impact. Him killing those guys, like, of course it had an impact of like you're not supposed to kill people because Oliver's a little kid, but also like the impact of him like making this status quo change. Like, it amplified like whoa, like something big just happened when he did that. But although I think we see one of the Mauler twins at like that weird alien like those alien like surgeon guys place. So I don't know. Maybe they'll come back and just do the same shit over and over again. I guess I don't know. I think it takes away, like, because this show is constantly bringing back people, and I think it takes away from like the thesis of this show, which is like a superhero story with actual consequences, like people actually die and stuff like that. But if you're always bringing back people like that, that makes it just like the same as everything else. Like, am I right? Am I right about that? Am I right, chat? Leave it in the comments. Anyways, and yeah, so they do that with the dragon guy, and I do not care for seeing him fight the big dragon again. I really like, I'm so disinterested in that. So, and even like, I think Doc Seismic, I mean, did he escape from prison? I don't remember. I think he's dead. I think he's done for good. At least I hope he is, because like, even a character like that, it's like, he's like somewhat comedic, and if he's giving them a hard time, this character like that like is somewhat of a joke, because he's like, stop littering, I'm gonna fucking kill litter. Like, he's always like, he's like pro like environment and like anti like human. Like, if he's giving all our heroes like a hard time, which he does, like Doc Seismic stops all of the superheroes on the planet, and he only gets saved by the Reanimen. Like, if he's able to do that, like, what even makes like the Viltrumites so dangerous? If like some Joe Schmo can fucking do that on a random Tuesday. And like, that's also like, yeah, that's I think that's just my problem with it. I think obviously our superheroes have to struggle, but like, to make every schmuck, every villain like the most powerful thing, and yeah, I think it takes away from the threat of the Viltrumites, like the impending doom of the Viltrumites. Thankfully the season like picks back up with the Powerplex episode. This one stars Aaron Paul as Powerplex, and goddamn, dude, I mean, Aaron Paul, he's just great at like just like screaming in just absolute like agonizing pain, which he does a lot in this episode. He does it a lot in Breaking Bad, and he does it a lot in this episode. As I think that's probably why he was cast as Powerplex, just so he could give the performance of a lifetime of screaming Invincible's name. I thought this was a great episode. I thought Powerplex, I think he's a good character. I think he's a good, he makes Mark like face like, of course Mark, like, I think Powerplex is right in being upset about it, but like, I mean, Mark, obviously he beats himself up over all the people that have died as collateral damage in his fights. So it's like it's kind of like there really isn't like a bad side to this. And Powerplex, he really isn't like a bad guy for most of the episode until he kidnaps he fake kidnaps his son. His wife, his wife totally matched his freak. Get you a girl like that. And if he just fake kidnapped his wife, I would have been, because she was in on it. I would have been like, oh yeah, he's technically, he's not really a bad guy, but you bring the kid into it. Obviously, the kid he's not gonna consent to that. So that's kind of like where he crosses the line. But honestly, like he's not like, oh, and then he does kill both of them. I was gonna say like afterwards, he's not really a bad guy, but he does kill his wife and son. So yeah, I think he has crossed the line there, unfortunately. But yeah, and then although I do think, I did want to see more Powerplex, but having him like show right back up right in the next episode, like breaking out of prison, it seemed like a little bit too fast. Like maybe 2 episodes in between would have felt like more natural. But like I would have liked for Powerplex to like stay in prison for a little bit more, and like kind of stew for longer. But yeah, moving on from that into episode 7, the Invincible War. This episode is so good. It's kind of sad that episode 8 like episode 7 is like amazing. Like it's like the highlight of the season until episode 8 comes out, and it somehow it's like the Invincible War episode is like a 90%. Somehow out of 100, somehow the Conquest episode doubles that. Like it goes above 100%, and like almost doubles that amount. Like it's like so amazing, the Conquest episode, and it's like because it overshadows the Invincible War episode. It's like amazing how it can peak after peaking. Like it's crazy. It's just crazy. But like, not to get ahead of myself, let's talk about the Invincible War episode. It's just, seeing all that the destruction that they were causing. Obviously, it's very like, I was like, holy fuck! Like the Earth is done. How are they gonna? There's 18 of these motherfuckers just destroying shit. Like how? If I was in the Invincible universe, I would kill myself. Like I'm not. Like imagine like every week you're like, oh, every landmark in the world has just been destroyed by 18 variants of the same being. And also, it's like, I would hate that. Then it's like, oh wow, yeah, my wife and child went on a vacation, and then a building fell on them, or they got ripped to shreds by the sheer velocity of this guy flying. That's cool. I guess I'll kill myself. It would be even worse if someone I love died during like a Doc Seismic fight. I would be pissed. Like if it wasn't like one of the Viltrumites, dude, that would suck. I know people joke about like Hulk throwing your card that you just finished paying off at the villain and missing, but like in the Invincible universe, your whole bloodline could get wiped out. Everyone you've ever known in your entire life. If you lived in Chicago on that day, everyone you ever even known could have been wiped out, and you just be like, cool. Yeah, I took a trip to Maine the other day. Now everyone I've ever known, after living my whole life in Chicago, they're all dead now. Thanks, I guess, Invincible. I would become Powerplex too. Like I don't blame him. It's like the thing. That's what I'm talking about here. Anyways, in the Invincible War, I just, I think, I wrote here, I didn't think the stakes could get higher until the next episode. But this is kind of what I meant. Where like there isn't really like a build up to the climax in this season, because like I think they introduced the Invincible variants. Well, they have the camera thing, like Mark being followed around with Engstrom's cameras in the one episode. But it's kind of just like you have the post credits. I think it was the post credits of episode 6 of like, you ready, my army of Invincibles? And they're all like, yeah, we're ready. And then the next episode is the Invincible War. So it's kind of just like, it's like just unrelated kind of stories, and then boom, Angstrom Invincible War, and then boom, Conquest shows up. Hey everyone, so it's me, your friendly neighborhood podcaster. I'm just kind of chiming in here. My voice has gotten considerably worse since I recorded this episode. I'm chiming in here because I forgot to mention a big part of what I wanted to talk about in the Invincible discussion. I think because I was focused on like how long this episode. I wanted to like make sure that this episode didn't get too long, but it was past that point already. So I just thought, fuck it. But I completely forgot to talk about an aspect of the season that I thought had a lot to explore, and that was Mark's rejection of killing his enemies, of killing bad guys, because he starts this season really remorseful of what he did to Angstrom at the end of season 2. After getting super angry and having that big adrenaline spike and beating Angstrom so much that he kills him, just completely mutilates him. He, after coming to, he's like, oh my god, I just killed someone. I'm just like my dad. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to kill people, right? And so he's really upset about it, and that kind of fuels his anger towards Teasel, working with people that have killed people in the past. And I wonder, it's like, and then by the end of this season, after realizing that Angstrom is alive, he's like, at that point now he's like, I'm going to kill you, and he doesn't get the chance to kill Angstrom. But then in the next episode, he kills, or at least he tries to kill Conquest. We revealed that he's not actually dead and being kept alive. But that was definitely his intention. So he's completely gone from being against killing his villains to now thinking that like some people, they deserve to be killed. And I think in the Invincible universe, I think that is definitely the case. Like all those Viltrumites, you can fucking wipe them off the planet. Like get them out of here, really. Like, but I don't know. I think it's interesting what Mark learns, because it goes against sort of like the ethics of like other popular heroes like Spider-Man or like Daredevil. Their thing is like we do not kill. We believe in redemption and stuff like that. And it's kind of like the never-ending debate of whether or not superheroes should kill. And I understand that. I don't think Invincible is a character like Spider-Man where he's like morally right. Like I think he's a lot more complex than Spider-Man. I think that's kind of like the point. And so maybe not everything that Mark thinks, and that Mark does, we're supposed to believe is true. But like I was kind of shocked by it at the end of this season where he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna start killing people now. And I was like, oh my god, like that's how we're resolving this season. Like that's like supposed to be his character development. Like it seems kind of, it's the opposite of what you would see of like other superheroes, right? And it's like, I mean, is that the point? I don't know if later in the comics he realizes to not do that. But maybe it's just like a thing of like in the Invincible universe, killing bad guys is the way to go. And I don't know, is there a definitive answer to whether or not he should kill? Like of course, I feel like someone like Conquest, that was a kill or be killed moment. But like I feel like so was Angstrom potentially, and yet Mark still beat up himself over killing him after he was gonna kill his family. Definitely was strong enough to at least get a couple good licks in, and has the ability to summon a variant that could kill him and so many people. So yeah, it's just interesting explorations of morality. And I mean, what is the solution? Is there a right answer? I feel like I don't know. I don't want to relate it to real life. I don't know if that's appropriate to relate it to real life as much. It's like, do I believe that there are certain people that can't be redeemed? I don't know. I guess I'm not that well versed into psychology that much. Like, I guess in a perfect world, I would like to believe that everyone could change, but we don't live in a perfect world. And the Invincible world definitely isn't perfect. And you've got these people that can level cities within 10 seconds. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, maybe it's again, it's to be continued, because obviously the show isn't over, and we know how there's more story to this, and the story does have an end. But I just wonder how that develops going on. Anyways, I'll get back to your regularly scheduled programming. Thank you for listening. I did like his fighting style. He had kind of like a Magneto platform that he would stand on and float around on. I thought obviously I like all the fights with the different Invincibles, but I really enjoyed the fight with Mark and Angstrom. I thought it was great to see Mark actually learn how to fight Angstrom and not fall into his portals. I thought that was that's one of those moments that gave me goosebumps. Like, every time I see Mark prevail, I'm like, fuck yeah, get him, dude. I love seeing a competent Mark Grayson. I love seeing it. So him avoiding the portal that will take him to Fortnite, I love that, you know. Oh, I wanted to mention how in the comics Shrinking Ray dies during that Lizard League fight that they have, which showed up in season 2. I was informed in the comics Ray is dead after that moment. And Ray is also a guy in the comics, so I don't think that's that important. And I was thinking I wonder why they would keep Ray alive for that. And I think it was just to make the Rex, spoilers, to make the death of Rex explode hit even harder. Which, rest in peace. Rest in peace to a real one, Rex. Actually, let me pull up the bagpipes again. No, I'm kidding. I'm just do another funeral. Rest in peace, Rex Explode. I thought he was a great character up until the very end. I think that was the closest I've ever been to on the verge of tears. When Rex was tell Ray I'm sorry for not finishing helping her move. That was just great. The way he goes out is great, blowing up his entire skeleton. And he taking out in one of the Invincibles with him. Definitely not something that fucking Immortal could do. I can't stand Immortal, dude. He fucking pisses me off. I'm glad that everybody else is why does Immortal and Duplicate get to get married and have a family and all this shit, and fucking Rex is dead? Two fodders, okay, yeah, two fodders sitting happily getting married. But yeah, I think keeping Ray alive was just to make that death, because it's oh, he had this whole thing set up, he was ready to be happy now. And I think I'm pretty sure they're gonna write Ray out of the show, because she's just wants to be a normal person now. So I think she's kind of served her purpose. The reason that they kept her alive after her initial death in the comics. Anyways, let's get to the big finale, the grand finale, Conquest. The Conquest episode. I originally thought that Conquest was going to be voiced by Jonathan Banks, who was announced to be in this season. They kept, I don't know why, I think a lot of people thought that too. I don't know why they kept it a secret who Jonathan Banks was playing, if he plays just a minor character. Because when they did the announcement, reveal of the new cast members and who they're playing, they wouldn't show Jonathan Banks is playing. There's a big question mark. It's redacted. It's if he plays Brit or whatever his name is. His name is Brit or Junior or something like that. It's if he has a few lines. It's why would you keep that a secret? I would have liked to see him play Conquest, but who they got to be him, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think did a fucking amazing job. I'm so lonely. Oh, the other Viltrumites are scared of me. That was an amazing scene. I really loved that scene. I think he did a great job. And apparently that monologue that Conquest gives about being lonely wasn't even in the comic. That was original just for the show. I think is great. I think that, I mean, him being like, take it to your grave, like that's fucking amazing. Like I don't know. I really like that. Yeah, but Conquest comes in and he just fucks up the Invincible so bad, and the city of, it was Chicago. It takes this show takes place in Chicago. Is that the main city? I mean, man, I would hate to be a Chicagoan, as I've said, as I explored earlier. And then they go to like fucking South America or something. They just kill you just kill so many people, so many people. I was kind of waiting for I have no idea how that fight ended, dude. I was like, I haven't read the comics. I was like, Mark is dead. There's no way that Mark is getting there's no way Mark is getting out of this. I was half expecting. I was waiting for like Omni-Man and Alan to show up. Like that was like, if I could predict how that fight was gonna end, it was gonna end by like them teaming up. Because I don't know when they show back up. I don't know when they come back to Earth. But I thought that because it's like they have an episode where like where we catch back up with Omni-Man and Alan. And I guess they're still doing their thing, and they're not. I would have liked to, see what happened after that. It's kind of like disconnected from the rest of the show. But yeah, I really like what happened instead. I think it was really. I mean, there's nothing I can really say about it aside of it being like amazing and also shocking. Like I did not expect that I could have been shocked after watching like season 1. All the destruction at the end of that season, and then, but they tripled it. They tripled the destruction. It's like, it's crazy. And then seeing Adam Eve go fucking ham, that was amazing. It was all just great. And then just Mark fucking like breaking both of his hands, and his leg is broken, but still just like he ends the fight by just headbutting Conquest to death. Like that's just like amazing. I went and I rewatched the last 2 episodes the other day after having seen them when they originally came out. I love seeing Mark go ham. It's like I love that dude. He turns Conquest into one of those fucking gore videos that I talked about, where his face is just caved in. But then of course fucking Cecil keeps him alive. I don't know what happens to him. I mean, he's definitely gonna break out, right? He has to break out. Like, imagine if they're just like, oh yeah, we keep Conquest in this place, and everything worked perfectly fine. So yeah, it's great. But Cecil, he says that he's going to find out more about the Viltrum Empire. So maybe that'll help him, design weapons to fight back with. And also, he's reanimating the corpses of all the Invincible variants. So Earth is going to be fucking ready for that Viltrumite war, dude. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I've heard about this character called Thrag. Apparently he's the strongest Viltrumite. I don't know what the fuck that's about. He's got a nice mustache, though. There was a character in episode 7 that had like a blindfold on, and he was shooting 2 guns. Which, you're shooting 2 guns at fucking Invincible. Like, way to go, dude. Like, you're really doing a great help. But when I first saw him, I thought that was one of the Invincible variants, because he has black hair, like short black hair, just like Mark. I was like, oh my god, oh, that's cool. An Invincible variant that has guns and like a blindfold on. Maybe he's blind. But apparently it's just like another superhero that exists in the world. Because then the actual variant shows up. Somebody tell me the details about that character. Maybe I'll look it up later, but like, is that like, why does he look so similar to Mark? Anyways, that was my my thoughts about Invincible season 3. Anything else that I want to say at the end here? Oh yeah, also the post-credit scene with Damien Darkblood. Apparently that was completely original. Also, I think in the comics, Damien Darkblood, after what happens, what we see after he gets banished back to hell, I think that's just the last we see of him. I mean, I guess it's kind of because I think he was a cool character, but like he doesn't really do anything besides like make Debbie suspicious of Nolan, and then he just disappears. It's Robert Kirkman who made the comic and who's like helping writing this show. I think he said that it's the Damien Darkblood storyline is going to lead up to Mark having to fight the devil. And he says that it was something that he didn't get around to doing in the comics. So I think maybe he had that idea when he originally made the character of Damien Darkblood and just never got around to it. So he just stayed in hell forever. Damien Darkblood stayed in hell, not Robert Kirkman, the writer of Invincible. He's not currently in hell, I don't think. And he will never be if I have something to fucking say about it. All right. And I wanted to end this episode with another with a tribute to Business Baby. Business Baby tragically dies in episode 7 of Invincible. We can put Homer back. Business Baby is he's the real star of this funeral. Who thought it was a good idea to have a baby in a suit fight Invincible? He had so much to live for. Does business baby get explored in the comics? That's such an interesting concept. Who thought it was a good idea to put him out in the battlefield? I need to know. Does he have his own comic? I would read a Business Baby comic. I would watch a Business Baby trilogy of movies. You know? They would have to make those movies pretty fast to, so the baby doesn't grow up.